Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle, and if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you for still being here. So it's October, in case you missed it. So I wanted to do some fun Halloween themed content for you guys, and the first thing on my list is my top 10 spooky, goth, weird house plants, like plants that you can actually grow in your home. Because there's a lot of weird crap that grows out in the rainforest and out in the wild, but these are plants that are able to live in your home as well. So I do have a few of these, but not all of them. And I don't know, we're just gonna make our way through the list so that you can curate your spooky girl, goth girl plant collection. So number one on my list is a plant that I have featured lots on this channel, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have included it in my weirdos videos. I have two of them. I can leave them linked up here for you guys if you want to go and check those out if you like this type of content, and if you like weird plants. So the first one obviously had to be the philodendron tortum. I know you're probably expecting me to just pick a bunch of plants that have dark leaves, and plenty of these do, but I did also try and pick just like the ones that have that kind of creepy, weird vibe that I usually dig in a plant, and the tortum is always the first one that comes to mind. And this is probably the best one on the whole entire list. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because this is the most easygoing plant, like, period. It's always growing for me. The new growth comes in really weird. It's a vibe. So philodendron tortum is number one on my list today, because I think that everybody should have one if you are into, like, if this is your vibe, if this is your aesthetic, you need the philodendron tortum. And the prices have come way, way down on these. They grow really quickly. They grow really easily. They don't need a ton of humidity or anything like that. This one's got a ton of roots in here, and I love it. So philodendron tortum is number one on the list. These aren't in any particular order either, just the order in which I thought of them and wrote them down. Okay, so number two on my list of the spooky, creepy, weird, goth, witchy vibes plant is the philodendron black cardinal. And I don't have this plant, so I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen here for you. I'm pretty sure it's a philodendron erubescens, which means it's the same as the pink princess, the moonlight, the prince of orange, things like that. So it has the same growth pattern, but these leaves in particular are just very dark, and I like it. I feel like this is maybe the darkest one. There's also the Dark Lord is a really great option, but I don't find that, at least in photographs, that it looks as dark as the black cardinal. So if you're looking for that really, really deep, like reddish, I guess kind of like purpley leaf, the philodendron black cardinal is definitely going to be one you want to keep your eye out for. There's also a variegated version that I personally would love to have someday, but it's expensive. So philodendron black cardinal is number two on my list. Number three is a plant that I do have because I'm looking at it all the time. It inspired me to put it on this list. It lives in this little coffin terrarium back here, and it is one of my jewel orchids. Don't mind me, just pruning the plant. I think they call this one Golden Jewel Orchid, but the leaves on it are very, very dark, and then they have this orangey golden veining that looks almost like lightning strikes. And this plant to me just screams like gothic, weird, fascinating. Like, it looks like it comes from another planet. So there's a few different jewel orchids that look similar to this. This is just the one that I have on hand. So that is the one I'm showing you, number 3 on my list today. This plant is also not this one exactly, but one that looks almost identical to it, is featured in my giveaway that is on my Instagram right now. So go make sure you're following me on Instagram, check out the giveaway post, and enter if you want to. There's a lot of really cute Halloween themed stuff going on in there. We've got one of these, a little baby Tycon, a cute little philodendron Red Anderson, and a lot of other cute accessories and stuff as well. So number 3, I'm trying to get the lighting to be better on it, on the list is this jewel orchid, Golden Jewel Orchid. If you know the scientific name for this one, feel free to share. There was a lot of conflicting information when I Googled it, so I was just like, I don't know. So number 4 on my list is something called a black bat plant. So I have the scientific name of it written down here. It's called, I'll leave it on the screen, I don't know, it's a double C, so I'm not sure if it's a K. Chantrieri. Anyway, it's called a bat plant, and this one in particular is the black bat plant, and the blooms should tell you why. And if this isn't the weirdest thing you've ever seen, I don't know. I've always wanted one. I've heard they can be a little bit finicky, but I've never had one, so I can't really tell you. If you have experience with this plant, please do share in the comments down below, and maybe the rest of us can learn something as well. They're not that easy to come by either, so I'm not exactly sure. If I ever do get a chance to buy one, I probably will, just to try it out, but I've never had one. So if you have, I would love to know more about it. It's really, really weird. I thought it was an orchid at first when I saw the bloom, and then I was like, I don't even know what this is. I genuinely don't know. So that is number 4 on my list. I wore my little bat earrings in honor of this plant today as well. Anywho, number 5 on my list is a newer plant that I just picked up. And the reason why I fell in love with this plant when I saw it was because the leaves are so dark and like they have that gothic vibe. They're a little bit elongated. It's an anthurium and it is the anthurium Queen of Hearts. Look at that leaf, you guys. It looks really shiny right now, so it's hard to like pick up on what it truly looks like, but it is a very, very dark leaf. It's a little bit veiny. They do get pretty long as they grow, and I am just obsessed with this plant. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of what it looks like when it gets bigger, just so you guys can understand. Anthurium Queen of Hearts. There's lots of other dark leaf anthuriums as well if you want to look into it. If this is your vibe, I feel like a dark leaf anthurium is kind of necessary if you're going for like that gothic vibe with your plants. Like, I totally fell in love with this and I love it. There's another one called Black Magic I think I saw when I was looking into the darker leaf anthurium, which I think is a luxuriance hybrid, maybe. I genuinely don't remember, but there are a lot of dark leaf ones. This one is just one that I happen to have and one that I think is just really beautiful. So Anthurium Queen of Hearts is number 5 on my list. I love it. I do need to repot it. It's just like in a plug. So I want to check out the roots. I don't know, they look pretty good. We'll decide on the substrate depending on the roots. Number 6 on my list today is a plant that I have always kind of had my eye on. The first time I saw it a few years back, I was like, whoa, that thing looks like it came from another planet. And it's really cool looking. There are a handful of plants that kind of look similar to this one, but in my opinion, I think this one is like the best one out of all of them. And it's Begonia melanobulata. Melanobulata. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of spiky, it's kind of hairy, it's kind of weird. I feel like there are certain plants that kind of give me like insect vibes, if that makes sense. So like that's kind of how my brain came to plants like the tortum being on this list. So I feel like this is just a really fun begonia if you like to do terrariums, because it is one of those begonias that likes a lot of humidity, I'm pretty sure. Most of them do. Rex begonias anyway. So, yeah. Begonia. You know, I had to put at least one begonia on the list. Begonias in general definitely kind of just have that vibe to them. There are a lot of options for darker leaf begonia. There are some cane begonia or angel wing begonia that are also pretty dark as well that you can look into. The begonia listata is one that comes to mind that definitely has like a darker, more like kind of velvety leaf to it. But my pick for this list is definitely the melanobulata. I don't know if there's a common name for it because that's a mouthful, but it is a really cool looking plant if you're into that, if you have vivariums and things like that, or just regular terrariums. It's a really fun plant to grow because it's literally looks like it came from a different planet. Like it doesn't belong here at all. Number 7 on my list today is a really common plant, arguably one you will probably go and find in your grocery store, and it is the Alocasia poly, or Alocasia amazonica, I'm pretty sure maybe is like the botanical name for it. But don't quote me. And I had to put this one on the list because even though it's so common, I feel like we're desensitized to it. But looking at it from an outside perspective, the long leaves, they're very dark green. They have kind of like jagged edges because of the veining, and it's just a really cool looking plant. And again, there's a lot of Alocasia that have darker leaves and definitely have that more like gothic, creepy kind of vibe to them. But I picked this one today for the list because it is really easy to access. So, but you know, obviously there's the black velvet, there's the cupreas, the aslaniis, there's lots of like darker leaf jewel alocasias as well. But I wanted to throw the poly on here because I feel like she doesn't really get all that much love, and she is a really beautiful plant that once grouped together with some of these other darker leaves and these weirder leaves, it definitely suits the vibe, and it makes me want to just like make a whole, makes me want to curate my whole entire collection to just these types of plants, because it really is, it's a vibe and I like it. So the next one on my list, which is number 8, is, if you've been following me, might seem weird, but hear me out. And it's over here because it's huge. And it is my Ripsalis prismatica. And it's really hard to even capture this thing on the frame without putting myself like kind of in front of it so you can really see it. I just think that it's really weird. Like it kind of gives like spider vibe, the way that it grows and kind of just sticks up all over the place. It definitely gives me like creepy vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like it kind of looks like a spider just like chilling, hanging in the corner, and I'm into it. And this is another one that's really like accessible and easy to get your hands on. Ripsalis prismatica. There are a few different types that will grow similarly, but this one is just like, look at it. I love it. I treat them the same as like Hoya and Dischidia, and they do completely fine. This one hangs in my window and I love it. Ripsalis prismatica, number 8 on my list of weird, spooky, creepy, goth plants. Okay, so number 9 on my list is a prayer plant, and I chose the Maranta Black. That's all I could find it called. It's just black Maranta, and it's beautiful. Hi. And obviously I picked it because it does have that like darker, it's kind of more of like a purpley, I feel like, or like a plum color on the inside of the mature leaves. But there's something about like the veining and the shape of the Maranta to me that just like kind of has a really cool vibe to it. So I wanted to include something from that genus on this list. So I could sit here and give you a whole list of philodendron that I think fit the vibe, but I tried to mix it up. The Maranta is another really easygoing one. This one is more rare and it is harder to come by, but it is not impossible to find. Especially if you can snag cuttings from somebody. That's always the best way to get your hands on something like this, for sure. But I really do love the shape of the leaves, the veining on these leaves, the color of the leaves, and the way that they move is just really cool. So 10 out of 10 recommend snagging yourself a Maranta if you ever see one in the store that looks nice. The red Maranta as well, I feel like has kind of that similar goth vibe. And now that I'm thinking about it, I should have put the Cissus Discolor on this list because it has that like purpley leaves, like those cute purpley leaves. We're giving it an honorable mention. Cissus Discolor. Last but not least, before my brain stops working, is Nepenthes. These are pitcher plants, and there are a few different varieties that I came across that are like on the darker side. But in general, I do find these to just be like really weird, strange. I mean, they're carnivorous, so that's already kind of like badass. So I would definitely add it to my list of plants that I need for my like goth girl plant collection. So number 10 on my list, Nepenthes. I think there's one called Dark Moon. There were a few. So, but I'm gonna end this video because I am not speaking well today. I'm not tired, you're tired. But I hope that you enjoyed this anyway. Let me know if you have any of these plants on this list in your collection. Let me know what you would add to this list. Let me know if you added any of these plants to your wish list. Leave me some cute little bat emojis in the comments down below if you watched this whole entire video. Definitely go over onto Instagram, like I said, and check out the giveaway that is happening. And if you enjoyed this video, you should give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There is a join button down there if you want to be part of the official plant fam. Get yourself some perky perks. If not, there's a super thanks button if you want to super thanks me. Everything is appreciated. You guys know I can't do this without you. My shop will also be linked down below for you guys. I just recently restocked, so I've got a lot of cute Halloween themed planters and accessories, and lots of new plants. So go and check it out. That is, like I said, the best way to support me and my channel. And you also get like cute stuff too. So I feel like it's a win-win, right? There's lots of affiliate links as well in my description box if you want to shop any of those. Same situation. I make a small commission if you do shop through any of those links. and you get something as well. So anyway, I love you guys so very much. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are out there in the world. Don't forget to spread kindness. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!